Hi there and welcome to Wine Searcher. Today I thought I'd have a look at a decent Bordeaux, so we've got a bottle of Chateau Talbot there. It's from St Julien on the Médoc. It's a 2016. Talbot, a historic chateau, not just for its winemaking, named after John Talbot, the first Earl of Shrewsbury, who was the man who lost the Battle of Castillon in 1453. He was an Englishman, and by losing the battle he ceded Bordeaux back to the French. So historically significant there, and the chateau still bears his name. Jumping on in history a bit, in 1855, when the estates of the Médoc and Bordeaux were classified, Talbot was classified as a fourth growth. Moving on from that to 1917, the estate was bought by the Cordier family. Désiré Cordier bought it, and it is still in his same family. Today, his descendant Nancy Bignon Cordier owns it with her husband John Paul, and their children help them with the management of that. They also own another chateau in Bordeaux and an estate in Provence, so they make wine in all of those, but no longer have a controlling interest in the negociant firm that carries their name. As an estate, Talbot sits right in the middle of Saint Julien. It's inland a little from estates, it's sort of mostly just inland from Lièvre-Barton, and it's 110 hectares with 103 hectares under vine, and it carries on right the way up to Pauillac. It's a very large area of vines indeed. As a winemaking consultant, Stephanie de Renancourt, famous consultant and enologist, helps make the wine here. The quality always good. This particular wine ferments in oak vats, spent 15 months in barrique, aging subsequently, 50% of which were new. It's a blend, I believe, of 55% Cabernet Sauvignon, 39% of Merlot, and the balance of the 6% of that is Petit Verdot. So, you know, blackcurrantiness, richness, and then real depth and ripeness from the Petit Verdot. Well, that's the theory anyway. So to taste the wine, looking at it here in the glass, beautifully dark colour, holds itself well to the rim, is virtually opaque. I can only just make out the stem of the glass at the bottom there. Maybe the light's a little low, but no, it's got a lovely deep ruby colour. Smelling it, although noticeably it has some quite heavy legs running down the glass. I'm not sure how well you can see that in there. Smelling it though, you've got some real richness. It starts off with a blackcurrant cassis note, but then very quickly you get notes of plum and damson and more sort of dark black fruit, maybe sort of dark red cherry, black cherry popping in there. And then just over the top of that, there's a sort of a menthol, a slightly leafy note as well. Tasting the wine. The wine's got a really lovely freshness, which just lifts the fruit really nicely. Again, starting with that sort of cassis note, but moving on to riper, deep red plum sort of notes. There's a slight spiciness. You've got sort of notes of maybe cinnamon, maybe tiny touches of pepper coming through with the toasty cedary oak, which actually I should have also noted was on the nose. I don't think I mentioned that. It's quite big, sort of medium to full-bodied, with quite a sort of rounding out from slightly warming alcohol. It's not hot, but there is a little bit of warmth there. Flavours last well. There are plenty of tannins. They're fine-grained, but you don't really feel them right until the end. They're sort of velvety smooth on the mid-palate, and there's a real core of sort of that dark, plummy fruit. And again, that sort of red, more plummy note comes through on a finish. The finish is reasonably long. I think this is a wine, it's 2016, could probably still use a couple of years just to settle down a little, but its acidity keeps the wine lovely and fresh. So yes, Chateau Talbot, really sort of a typical example of Saint Julien. For the quality of wine that you're getting, I think, you know, excellent value for money. I mean, looking at this, you can buy this for about 60 to 70 US dollars a bottle. You know, not cheap, but for the quality, pretty good value. So yeah, Chateau Talbot, everybody. Cheers.